Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. I'm back again. Thank you so much for coming back to Be a Happy Creative. My name is Banani. I'll answer to be or war. So today I come with something a little bit different. I was going to do a craft do it yourself, do it with me kind of video. But then I thought, let's take it back to basics because for those who don't know me, my name is Vanani, as I said, but I'm the founder of Yanafella, which is a children's brand, still growing. So I thought instead of just going on and doing videos of how to do certain things, I probably could share my experience or some tips on how to start your own craft, hobby, creative business. So you can pick out what will help you depending on what you want to do. So my passion is in crafting, doing things using fabric, making, but more specifically, making children's clothing. So yeah, that's where we are at today. So for those who are new, thank you for popping by. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Those of you who have come back again, I really appreciate you. Thank you so, so much for your support. Right, we'll just get on to it, shall we? So, what does it involve to start your own craft business? I will say craft, but that may be different to you. You may be an artist. You may be what do they call them? Whatever you do that constitutes craft. You may be that. You may be making my mind's just gone blank. Beep. You may actually be making accessories. You could be making jewelry. You could be making all sorts of things, really. You could be making flowers using paper, but you now want to turn it into a business. So first of all, point number one, you would need to find your niche. Okay, this is very important. I was born in Zimbabwe, and I love sewing. I love designing. So I have run a bridal business. I ran a bridal business for about 3 years, and I had to stop because of family commitments. I had my baby, but also I love making made-to-measure clothes. I love embroidering. I love quilting. I love doing all different types of creating stuff within under the umbrella of sewing, really. But in 2016, I became very unwell. A story for another day. But while I was recovering, I made the decision to start my own children's brand. And that is because, number one, I have 3 boys and I really fancied doing loads of children's clothes for girls. Yes, I fancied making children's clothes, but specifically for girls. And also, I was in a place where I couldn't go back to my job and do what I was able to do before. So I thought, I'll be my own boss. And yes, I did. So I decided, of all the things that I can do, I wanted to concentrate on children's wear, which is what I did. So I've built that brand, and I'm still working on it because when I started, I've been doing certain products and trying to refine the whole process and finding what people want, listening to them. So it's a long process to come up with your niche, really. But yeah, it can be done. So you have to have the right skill, obviously, for what you want to do. So make sure that you take an audit of yourself, because there's no point telling yourself that you're going to niche out in bridal wear when you don't have a clue in that area. Unless you're going to educate yourself in that field, then it's difficult for you to concentrate on something that you really have no clue about. It would take longer. You could do it, but it would take longer. So yeah, that's that point. The next thing, after years of obviously going through this process, is creating a business plan. I'm going to be very honest, I didn't do this from the onset. I just rambled on. Yes, I did. I just got on with it, really. Not a very good move, but over the time I've learned that it would have helped me to draw up a business plan, because it helps you to focus. It helps you to see whether you are actually going to run a business or just a very expensive hobby. So I am doing my homework still. I have done some research in what I'm doing, and I've come to a place where I'm quite happy with where I'm going. So for someone who's starting, I would recommend that you take the time to draw up a business plan. And there's this notion that people think you only draw up a business plan because you're going to want to go and ask for money from the bank or whatever. No, a business plan is a plan. And as they say, not planning is planning to fail. So I could sit here and tell you some of the mistakes that I've made, but today is not about that. I could always come back and do that. Today is about giving you the tips of how to build your idea, your craft, your hobby into something that becomes that thing that lines your pocket. Isn't it good to have something that you love to do, but actually it does line your pocket? For me, it's a no-brainer. So yep, that's that. So when you've drawn up your business plan, which is not a joke, it's work, it has to be done. I don't advise that anybody pays anybody to actually do a business plan for them. I think it's something that you should do yourself. There's so many templates out there. Uncle Google is very kind. There's professional people who will guide you to go through with this. If you're really serious about where you want to go, I would say that's the step that you would take. But yeah, it can be done. So make sure that you get that sorted out. So that was point number 2. Point number 3, I would say, is sort out your legalities. I was born in Zimbabwe, as I said, but I reside in the United Kingdom. So at any point when you decide that you now want to run a business, whichever country you're in, it's very important that you find out what you need to do. Because if you are going to make profit, whether you're going to make profit or not make profit, you still need to account for what you're doing, and you will need to pay taxes. So hopefully you will be running a profit at some point, but regardless of that, if you're now running a business, I think there is a period that you're given for you to almost test out what you're doing, but I think it's about 3 months. However, if you're going to do it for a longer period, then you need to make sure that you sort out your legalities. That is company formation. If you're going to form a company, if you're going to be self-employed, you still need to do whatever you need to do to make sure that is sorted out. And then, of course, if you're very gifted, then you could do your own accounts. But if you need that support, then you probably need to be in touch with someone that will help you with that side of things. And yeah, that is a big part. And then I know a lot of people, so now we're going on to number 4. I know a lot of people who have craft businesses, and as much as they may have maybe online presence, and some of them might have brick and mortar shops, they might also go into markets to sell their products. So for me, I have the online shop, which I'll put details to on here and at the end of this video, and also down below in the description box. But also I do go to craft fairs. I go to various places where I exhibit and I sell the products that I make. So if you've watched some of my videos, I've shown you how to make hair clips, hair grips, and hair tie bows. Those are accessories that go alongside the garments that I produce, but they can also be sold separately. So what I'm driving to now is, if you have a business, you need to make sure that you get yourself insurance. The insurance is to cover you if anything happens with your products to your customers, but also if you're selling in a market, it's to help protect your customers and yourself as well. So, and there's different types of insurances, and I'm not an expert, and I'm not going to start here and start giving you advice on what you should go for and what you shouldn't go for. So that's that point. So you need to make sure you do your research and get the right type of insurance that suits your business. So that's that one. And then the next point, which is, I'd say probably now point number 5. If you're going to be serious about what you're doing, it would be important as well to take time to, number 5, find good suppliers, because what you don't want is to start providing a product for people, and then, for example, for me, I need fabric, I need thread. If I find the right thread or the right notions, for example, elastic or whatever, and then after some time I can't find it, that means now I cannot produce what I want to for my customers, which can have a dent on your reputation, really. So you want to be consistent. You want to know that you'll be able to get the resources that you need to keep your business running. So for me, what I do is I have a minimum of 2 suppliers for one specific resource that I use, so that if I can't get hold of them, like for at the moment, we are in the COVID times, and some companies, they're small businesses run by families. Like my business is an independent business, and either they fell off themselves or they've had to stop functioning during this period. So what would you do if you are still operating from home? So it's things like that that you have to consider. And also the cost, you have to do your research to make sure that it is cost effective for yourself. Get the right suppliers, and also maintain a good reputation by making sure that you pay up your invoices in time, on time, because that's the other thing, isn't it? So yeah, and constantly review as well, whether there's anything better, and maybe also look at, is it environmentally friendly? I had to swallow my tongue then. Is it environmentally friendly? Whatever you're using, is there an option that you could use? Because we have to try and do our best to look after the environment that we live in. So that's that. And then last but not least, I would say, is you have to think about your sales channels. I've already mentioned, so this is now point number 6, that my business is an online business. So it's called Yanafella, as I said. So you can find it on www.yanafella.com. Although, as I mentioned again, sometimes I do go to trade shows, I'll go to market stalls, I will go to different places really where you can be able to showcase or sell your products. So you have to think about where you're going to sell. You might want to approach retailers as well to put your product in there. So you just have to think what is the best for you, and also it's related to your vision. How big do you want your business to be, and where you want it to go? So the choice is yours really. So think about where you want to sell, I would say. And then the last point that I would love to highlight is obviously related to the point number 6. So this is point number 7. The last point I would say is think about the future. So we started off as this being like your craft, your hobby, your passion, or maybe just an idea. So before you start, I've already started, but before you start, think about the future. What is it that you want to achieve? You know, so many people do craft businesses as a side project. For me, this is one of my main projects. I've got a portfolio of things that I do, and this also constitutes a big chunk of other things that I do. So for me, it's not a side hustle, it's one of my businesses. So, but whether it's a hobby turning into a business, or it's a proper business, which is your full-time work, it has to pay. So think about the future and think where you want to take it. You want to just carry on and just be comfortable. And obviously this would reflect on the other point where we spoke about you drawing up a business plan. So I hope you found this useful, and I hope it will help you as you think about how to progress your idea, your passion, your craft, your hobby. But yeah, tell me in the comments below what you are actually wanting to do, and we can have a conversation. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen up to this point. It would be great if you subscribe, like, and share this video, and put your comments below with any questions that you want to be answered. And also, if you have got any ideas on what you would love to learn to do, maybe some people don't have ideas of what they want to do and would want to just try something to start with, just comment below and let me know, and we can give it a go. Have a pleasant day. It's really hot, as you can see, sweating. But yeah, that's what I thought I'd bring for you today. Catch you in the next video. Have a good time.